What's going on, PW Beast? So this video today is simply on the Fantastic Four first steps. I had some critiques, right? Now, I want to say, like I said in the beginning of my last video, if you like it, I love it. The movie was doing pretty good in the box office. I think it's dropped. The last time I looked at it, it was like about 60% drop in the second weekend. Second weekend. So it's not really doing the best in the box office. But people like it, right? People, and right now is DC versus Marvel. We all know that, right? And we know that this movie was pinned up against Superman. So far, as much as I'm a Superman fan, I'm a DC fan more than a Marvel. Although I do like both. So far, people like this movie more than Superman, right? It is what it is. That's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. However, right now, as far as money-wise, I know that Superman is at 500, and probably a little bit higher than 500 million. And, they're thinking that Fantastic Four is not going to beat that. But also, it's like mixed reports as far as if Superman is going to be is actually profitable or not, right? Is it going to be a flop because we don't know how much money it actually has to make. So, but anyways, I know the studio is saying that it has to be 500 mil, but, I guess people more in depth says it has to be more than that. The video today, we're on Fantastic Four. I just want to talk about Reed Richards versus Galactus, all right? And I was taking my morning glory this morning, and I came across this photo. And this photo basically had Mr. Fantastic wrapped around Galactus. And then my thoughts were, why do they nerf Mr. Fantastic so much? I feel like his stretching abilities could have been used a lot better. And I said that in my last video. But when Galactus was just stretching him apart, I just feel like, although Galactus is super strong and freaking way stronger than Reed Richards, right? Even though Reed Richards beat Galactus a couple of times. I think the first time they beat him, well, they had the Beyonder's help, but, with the ultimate nullifier, basically told Galactus to bounce. But that's mind over matter type deal. But anyways, I just had a gripe about this because I said this movie, you could have showed Reed Richards to be a little bit more of a presence, with his abilities. I liked him because when he's stretching him out, I was just thinking, and I did a little bit of research. They said that he has a limit, right, to his stretching ability. They're just giving an estimate, but they said about 1,500 feet, right, or a little bit high, little bit further than a football field. Okay, so if that's the case, I feel like if you use your imagination a little bit more, which they did a lot in the comics, right, when he was getting stretched out to the point that he couldn't, is there no ability? First of all, could he not slip through his fingers, like completely make his fingers so tight that he slips through his fingers? I don't know. It's Galactus. I'm not sure. But could he not wrap himself around, like maybe in the middle of his stomach, like kind of like loop? I don't know. I just feel like he could have done a little bit more than him just getting stretched out like a rubber band. It would be nice to see, maybe as he before. I'm just thinking. I'm like, man, they missed an opportunity to show. Like Galactus could have had him beat, which would have been fine, right? But before Galactus had him beat, it would have been better to see. It would be cool to see Mr. Fantastic actually use his abilities. Like maybe not wrap himself completely around Galactus. That would have been dope. I know you saw he did it against the Thing a couple of times, although the Thing is way smaller than Galactus. But even just wrapping himself around Galactus somehow and just gave, even though, you know what? Here's an equivalent. Remember when Thanos punched Captain America? Thanos is way stronger than Captain America. However, that small little like pause when Captain America was holding his fist back, that's just all we needed to say, yeah, I see you, Cap. That's what I would like to for the Mr. Fantastic, Now, I actually want this movie to make some money. I want this movie, although I didn't like the CGI was my biggest thing. I feel like the story was a little bit of an issue. But I want to see these characters again, especially with the X-Men and especially with the Avengers. And I want to see these characters again. We could grow with these guys. But so I wanted to make some money. But I think that using their powers, even Human Torch, I feel like he could have used his powers in different ways as well to just been a little bit more just unique than instead of just throwing fire. Anyways. So that's one of my big gripe. I was looking at this photo and I was thinking, man, they missed the mark. What do you guys think? Is it as simple as like Galactus just whooping on Mr. Fantastic like that? Would you have liked to see more diverse like powers, a set of powers, or use his powers? They've been doing this for 3 years, so you'll think that he'll be able to do more than just reach from building to building. I would like to have seen something just a little bit more. Something maybe I haven't even thought of, right? I don't get paid to think of these things. So what do you guys think? Anyways, that's my video. PW, peace!